Greetings and welcome to Mount Olympus. I am Hercules Invictus. Today we continue our quest for optimal wellness with a new show that will explore the mysteries of meditation. And we have Sue and Setna today with us. And Sue happens to be a specialist in meditation. We'll start off with her. Greetings, Sue. How are you?
Hey, how are ya? How's everyone doing? Hey, Michael.
Hello there, Sue. Good to see you. It just seems so long.
I know, I know. It needs to be a reoccurring visit.
That's a good
So,
thing.
yeah.
I happen to
So,
love Sue a lot, so yeah,
oh,
I
thank
know you
you.
say that in all our communications, so I believe it.
she's a,
I,
she's a
I
good.
try not to. I try not to give the satellite a hard time.
Um,
So, yeah. So we want to get down to meditation. I am a meditation specialist. I operate out in St. Louis, Missouri. And there's times when people feel that they are sad. I mean, sometimes they're dealing with depression and things like that. And maybe they have PTSD from anything. Whether they have fear of dogs or cats, or they've been in a war or some sort of battle, or maybe have trauma like from family members and things like that. That's what I do. I help people work through them. I also help people work with their shadow work. That means you visit your past, because a lot of times the things are happening in your current life, and for your future life there's things that might be holding you back. So if there's things that are holding you back, a lot of times you might want to work on what's maybe happening in your past that's possibly stopping you from doing the things that you want to do in order for you to move forward. So that's another thing that I do, is help people work with the things that are making them feel stuck. And a lot of times people will just contact me and say, I just have things I want to talk about. Sometimes it's good to get it off the chest, but I also help people be able to not only get it off the chest, but actually expel it out of them. And the way you do it is first to talk about it, and then there's meditation techniques to push it all out. Because sometimes we talk about it and it kind of gets 50% of it out. Because sometimes when you talk about it, it's still there, lingering inside of you. So a lot
Right.
of times that means you didn't get it all out, and that's why it's still bothering you. And so it's good to push it out even spiritually, in ways that because that's what anxiety is. A lot of times it's stuck energy. It's energy that you've been holding on because you pile it and pile it and pile it. It's kind of like if you know anybody that's owned a fireplace and you get a brand new fireplace, and if you don't clean it out, and I'm not talking about sweeping all the soot out and everything, but the ones who are really good at keeping their fireplaces intact, they will actually physically once a week scrub their fireplace down with soap and water and everything, and it keeps all the soot and stuff from building up, because there's people out there that own a fireplace and they will just sweep it all out, but there's still all that soot and burnt spots and everything in there, and then they will just all they will do is just replace fresh logs, and they keep doing that, and over time it's going to build up in your chimney, it's going to build up in your fireplace, and what happens? Well, eventually it could really start a fire in the chimney area, and it'll start causing problems, and it could burn the whole house down. So it's sort of like that on the inside of us. If we just, even if we clean some of it out, but we're still adding layers of emotions or situations that happened in our lives, we're going to end up eventually causing some explosion. And that's why even something as simple as spilling a glass of water can make you explode and maybe yell at your kids or your pets or even other people that are in the house. That's where it comes from. It's not so much as that you spilled a glass of water or milk that really got you pissed. It's just that there's something that built up, and that was just that final little tick that got you going.
I've owned fireplaces in my past, and I've
Yeah,
owned camping in cabins that had fireplaces. So I know what you're talking about. That's a very good analogy, by the way.
yeah. It can go
um,
for a lot of stuff, but it's sludge. It's spiritual sludge. It's what it is. Same thing when if you wanna use the analogy of cleaning the oil out in your car. You have to do an oil change every so often, otherwise it looks like sludge. You know. And if you really keep at it, it's gonna mess your car up. And it's the same thing. It's gonna mess you up. If you have all of this spiritual sludge inside of you, and a lot of people don't realize that's what the problem is. They think that whatever's currently happening right now must be the problem. It's not always the case. It could be something that happened 30 years ago, that's finally just surfacing enough to just tick you. So that's why it's good to have what's called a spiritual cleansing. Just like you have to have a cleansing of your house, you have to have a cleansing of your body. And I know it takes work, but that's why I kind of call it anchor meditations. And meditations where the link in the chain that you have every time you have a problem, it's another link, another link on an anchor, and it's just dragging you throughout your entire lifespan. Nobody wants to carry that load. And if you've seen, was it Marla or something from Scrooge or whatever, he had this chains
Marley.
and all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Marley. Yeah, he had the chains and he had all these trunks and he was just dragging all of that. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to ball and chain on their ankles, of their spiritual side. So it's really important to actually keep yourself spiritually cleansed. And it's something that doesn't get talked about enough. Because a lot of people are sent to counselors, and counselors are great. I give them all props. Psychologists, psychiatrists, I give them props. It's just that it's one thing to talk about it, but another thing you also need to spiritually cleanse yourself from it as well.
So we're going to explore how to do that in a little while, but next we'll go to Setna. Setna does forms of meditation and spiritual healing as well. And he's actually led people in meditation groups in previous programs. So Setna, the baton is yours.
I use Egyptian chants with the different names of different deities, mostly with the Lord Amun and Ra and their aspects. And I find it very purifying. Sue, I was going to mention to you, I had a past life in I guess it was the 1400s. No, 1500s, excuse me. And I was attached to a royal person, and I was his fool, his friend, his fool, also the clown, the jester. And I always had problems with my neck, and it's very, very strong reason for that. We did a past life regression, and I discovered this past life. It was one I wasn't sure about. I always had a thing for medieval England. I never knew why till I went to some of the palaces in England. In any case, um, I was the jester, the joker for a king. I wasn't a king. I was just his fool. I made him laugh. We were very close friends for all of his life. And when he died, I took the sash from his four-poster bed, wrapped it around my neck, and jumped off the bed and broke my neck. And
Wow.
so that pain, when I realized that that was what that was from, that was releasing that pain. That past life was doing that to me. I didn't understand why I couldn't move my neck. I couldn't put my head up or down. And because I had broken my neck about, oh, I don't know what, 700 years ago, and
Mhm.
it still hurts.
Um,
Wow. I'm going to ask, how do you know when a memory is of a previous life and when it is like a dream and something symbolic? It's encapsulated maybe in past life images, but it might be something psychological inside.
What if you, for instance, with Setna, when I went to the Brooklyn Museum, now I was given that name, Setna West, and it's Kamwaset, by the way. Um, and I took the name, and I felt it was part of me. The Eye of Horus that I'm wearing, I've drawn since I was a child. I didn't even know what it was, and when I looked it up, I was like, "Oh my goodness, I'm right." It was a stream of consciousness, a flash. This was something I'd always known about, always been involved with. But when I saw that ring in the Brooklyn Museum and the stela of his name, and I read hieroglyph, and I was reading Setna Hamwaset and his whole thing, it came back to me. Did you ever see the movie The Mummy with Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
there's this. I think it's in it's the middle, the second movie. She's on the boat, the floating boat, dirigible, whatever, and she had a memory of watching the mummy and his girlfriend kill her father, the pharaoh. But she remembered it, and she almost fell off the boat, if you remember. When I saw that ring and I saw the stela, I saw myself in a white pleated robe with a leopard skin around my eyes painted and a shaved head and shaved face, walking forward into a temple, which happened to be Karnak. Several years later, I went to the Karnak temple in Luxor, Karnak in Egypt. It's the temple of Thebes of Amun, but there's also little niches in that whole temple for all the other gods and goddesses, which is why it's called Ferneteru, and why my temple is Ferneteru. It means the house of the gods, that house of the Egyptian pantheon. Somebody said, why Per? Well, that's the word, Per. It means house of, or temple of. So seeing that and then going into that temple many years later, I thought to myself, wow, I know where I came from. I think that's one of my earliest human lives was Setna. And I know that when I was born, I felt like I felt that a light from the universe and his death merged. And so that I am Michael, but I am Setna. I feel a change when I do meditation, that I come more into Setna than I do Michael.
I can understand that. With my operant archetype, there are degrees of attunement, and you could certainly get there through meditation. Thank you, Sedna.
One thing more. I found like Columbo. One thing more. I'm a Columbo freak. I can't help it. Um, you know, um, when I was working with my oh Lord, when I was working with my guides, he calls you Heracles, not Hercules.
The Greek version of the
Heracles, yes, with a K.
yeah, Iraklis. Yeah,
Yeah, this is terrible. I'm going to have to excuse myself for a moment. There's an emergency phone call.
yes, please.
Give me one moment.
We'll go to Sue in the interim. Sue, are the sludge like um, I guess accumulations that you clear all from this incarnation, or do they go back to previous incarnations?
They can be both. They can be something from current. They can be something from previous. That's you're gonna need a past life regression to look for that. Um, there are many people that can do that. I can do some, but most of it's stuff I do the current things that are happening in your life, and it can still connect with any of your past life, because if you clear anything that's going on this, it's going to clear up the past as well a lot of times, because it all connects like a vein. um,
Okay,
it connects like a vein in time. So it's it's not just it's not like, it's kind of, I guess, like a chapter book. All your lives are in the same book. So if you look at the records of your life, it's all from the same book. It's just in chapters. It's the same thing with the tapestry. If you've seen a lot of mythologies that talk about our lifespan,
yeah.
and with using a tapestry, well, if you've seen how tapestries are made, when you pull the one thread, it's pulling all the threads that are horizontal, but then all the threads that are vertical are usually still there. Those are, I'm
You're, you're,
sorry.
you're giving excellent analogies.
Oh, thank you.
I'm
Very
not
So,
surprised.
yeah, so when you're pulling these threads and all of these different colors that create the actual picture, because they switch out colors in order to make the patterns that they make on the tapestry. So as you're switching out patterns, you're switching out events in your life that are connected to one long thread. So when a tapestry is made, it's not always made just because of the current life that you're in. It could be the entire tapestry is made until you finished your entire entire line, which could be, you could have another, thousands of years. You could have, another 30,000 years. It depends when it ends. Then the tapestry is 100% finished. So and it's just many. It's really long, and a lot of times they show tapestries as in broken up. So then, if you reincarnate again, it's a new tapestry. And I don't believe, in my opinion, from what I've seen, that's not always the case. It's really very one long one.
I agree with you. I really do. Guys, can you hear me?
Yeah,
You hear us?
Yes, you're mute. You're very low. Your voice is very low, though.
yeah, yeah,
Hercules, I can barely hear you.
You can barely hear me? I count
Yeah, I
my,
can hear Sue, but I can barely hear you.
yeah.
that,
It's a little low. Yeah, sorry.
that's a problem.
Yeah, yeah,
Ever since they put the AI on, I've been calibrating,
Ah,
yeah,
been
I was going
calibrating
to
the
say,
microphone.
Sue, in my traditions, there is a goddess. Her name is Neith,
mm,
and she weaves the fabric of time. And so what
yeah,
you said fits in exactly with what I believe as well.
yeah,
She weaves when you're born, she starts a new thread. And she
yeah.
start literally a new thread, like when you're doing something like what we're doing, they call these threads.
Mm-hmm.
So she begins that thread. And I don't believe that there's a a preordained story. I believe it's kind of what we would call commedia dell'arte, which is kind
Yeah,
of an improvisation. You fill in the blanks. Maybe there's a plot summary, but you have to do it your way. I believe that we don't have destiny so much as maybe there's a path that we've got to follow. And there are different deviations along that path, and we don't always get it right, obviously.
yeah,
And I believe that's why reincarnation happens, that, okay, start again.
yeah, yeah. Well, that and just like any tapestry or rug, you can get a stain on it. You have the power to clean the stain off of it. It doesn't change what the trajectory is on. You have the power to clean the stains out of it, and you can use other parts of the tapestry to do it. If you've ever washed a piece of cloth before out of a stain, what do? We fold the clean part onto the dirty part and we scrub it together. That means you can take something that's already been made and takes the part that's stained and rubs together to get the stain out. And that's basically what you're doing when you do these meditations. You're actually cleaning up the sludge, like I said, any stains or whatever it is. And there's many methods of doing it. There's no one way to do it.
Okay, that's my next question. There are many different ways to meditate. I do like a dozen different meditations at various points, but I have some that I start with. One is deep breathing. I'll focus on my breath and breathe deeply and well. Then I have
Yeah,
another one that I do immediately afterwards, which is taking the breathing to the next step of relaxing the body. So
yeah,
relax my body as much as it can be relaxed.
right.
And then once my body is relaxed, I'll do one where I'm hyper alert to all the noises in the room.
Okay.
And that's like being the hypnagogic or the hypnotic state. I'll also feel psychic things like a ghost might touch my cheek or a
Mm,
ghost cat might rub against me or something because I'm in that in
yeah,
between state. And then once I've attained that, I will take it to a um, blocking out sound level. So they could be doing construction work outside and it won't disturb my stillness. So those are like four different things I do to start off my meditation periods, and then I'll do more specific things and so forth. Then I have a wind-up
yeah.
procedure. How would you recommend somebody start their meditation practice? How do you get into
Well,
meditating?
the first thing you do is relax and just take a deep breath in and out a few times, okay? The second thing I do is I do like a light cleanse. So I pretend above my head that there's a stream of light, kind of a portal open up like the sun, and you cleanse yourself with it, almost like how you do with the copier Xerox machine. You scan yourself and you push out all the dark out to the bottom of your feet. Keep going down until you go to the bottom of your feet and cleanse it out that way, okay? And then you ground yourself. That means you take threads that are at the bottom of your feet and you connect it all the way to the center of the earth, and that can look like anything you want. It could look like a lava pit if you want to be literal. They say that earth is lava. I don't believe that earth is lava, but you can think of a spiritual pool of crystal water, sparkly and everything. You can be whatever you want to be, and you dip your roots. You can pretend there's roots growing out at the bottom of your feet, and you dip that into the center, and you draw up the energy from that to the bottom of your feet, and you keep drawing it up until it's all the way up back up to your body, and then you have a special connect cord that you can create, and you can connect it to whoever you want. I connect it with God, in the center of the universe. So that's what I do. I connect it to that, and then I cleanse myself. Cleanse this, make sure the thread and the cord and the entire pipeline, if you will, is all cleaned out first. Okay, and then the next thing I do is I shield myself, and your shields can be whatever you want. And I do several different layers of shields. It could be vines of beautiful roses. It could be maybe you can imagine incense around you, so circling you. Um, you can use chakra shielding. That means you have, the all the colors going down, from red to orange to yellow to green. I just use those to help me visualize, and they look like domes, and they come down and you cover your whole body. Um, and then after that, my final one I use, which is a reflective mirror. I use that to because that way all the negative entities, if they come try to find you, they can't see you. They can only see themselves, so then they'll leave you alone. A lot of times that works. Another one is maybe violet flame. I mean, it can be anything. We use the violet flame shield around the whole house. I try to put that in every day to keep our house safe from any intruders. I hope that that keep working. Um, but that's what you do. And then when I go into myself and I just excuse me, I check the earth energies to see how things are going. And if there's areas that need maybe a little bit of vibration leveling, because one of the things people don't realize of how powerful you actually are when you want to raise the vibration of the earth, every little, because we're all connected, everything's connected. We're connected to each other. We're connected to the earth. We're connected to the universe. So every little single tiny deed that you do in this world, whether it's, somebody that's disabled and they need their shoes tied, you need to help tie their shoes, or open a door for someone that has their hands full of groceries or whatever. And all these little things that you do actually raises the vibration of our planet every little bit. I mean, you don't know how powerful you really are when you do these things to people. When you do good, when you bring out good and positive energy, it's more powerful than you think. So I look around the planet and the universe, and if there's any little pockets that could use a little extra oomph, if you will, I will actually take my heart chakra and I will create a ball and I will place it in those areas that's needed to help raise the vibration. So these are some of the techniques that you can do for yourself, and it helps raise your vibration as well.
That is incredibly awesome. And again, very vivid imagery. Said, how about you? What type of meditation do you recommend that people start their practice with?
Well, as Sue said, working with color, I will sit very quietly it can be in a chair, it could be on your bed or on the floor.
Mhm.
And I just, as you say, I allow the energies, I do deep breaths. I think about the energies in my head and the light above me as well as below me. And I feel the energies that I'm going to relax myself with. So I relax my head, and you can hear cracking. I relax my shoulders, my arms, my chest, all of my torso, my legs, all the way down to my feet. And as Sue said, I allow that energy to leave. I imagine a window, even if there is a window, I'll imagine a window. The window opens and the energy just gets sucked out. I also use wands. This is I don't know if you can see it. It's
It's
got a lot of
beautiful.
chakra colors on it. It's brilliant. And I allow all those colors to fill me. You know that all the colors in the world blend together, and that creates white light, which is pure light. And if you feel that energy, I build the white energy around me. I will say I do a pyramid meditation. I think we did that on one of the
Yes,
podcasts,
we did.
where do you know what an octahedron? So it's a double pyramid. As above, so below, which is what Hermes Trismegistus said. So I'll imagine coming from behind me, shooting diagonally into my ceiling, is a green light for growth and health. From my left side will be yellow light doing the same thing, shooting up behind me. And also it's mirrored down below, exactly the same. Then there'll be a blue light and a red light, and all those lights fuse together and they form a white pyramid above me and below me. And I am blessed and protected within that space. And then I can work with whatever way I need to work. If someone needs healing, or if someone is looking, maybe they're in trouble. For instance, right now, my sister's in very bad trouble. So I'm sending energy, even when I'm working with you folks now, I'm sending energy to her to hold on and to have more faith in herself and to literally get hold of herself. She has some problems. And she's a young woman with a lot of problems. So I need to send that energy to help heal her. It was what my brother's call was. There was something going on with her. Um, so that has to be cleared up, and I'm trying to work with that. She does put up walls. She's a very powerful being, my little sister. And unfortunately, unlike me, I know that I'm not infallible, and I'm not always right. I know that, and I own when I make a mistake.
Right. Yeah,
You've
that's
seen that, Hercules. I always own when I've done something wrong or I've done something where I've hurt somebody, I own that. And by owning it, I hang that little button up and it's put away. It's been forgiven and it's put away. And my sister has a lot of chains, like you would say, Sue, a lot of things because she always says my way is the only way, no matter what it is. And you're always wrong if you speak with her. So I let her talk, because she's sending that energy out. Words are power. There's an Egyptian god, his name is Tehute, Thoth, and Hermes in Greece. It's the same god, I believe.
I believe.
And he says he's the creator of language and knowledge. And he says, all that you will be and all that you might have done has already been. You've already done the future. So make your future, make what you're saying happen to make things better. Open the doors. And, that's necessary. And I do that every day. I imagine the doors opening up. And I imagine that I say to myself, there's nothing I can't do. I have no limits. If you say I can't, you close that door. And I won't let that happen. There's nothing I can't do. There's nothing I can't be or I can't accomplish. I mean, I don't know how to change the engine on a DC-10, but I'll get a Chilton's manual and I'll figure it out.
You know,
You know what I mean? I'll figure it out. I'll find that way, because the way, wherever you are, you're not stuck. The way is always there. You just have to find that particular thread, as you would say. Move that on the fabric of time, move that on the fabric of your life. Find that thread and fix it. You might even have to sew it back up.
Yeah.
so
That
that's a
there's
powerful way as well. Sue, you wanted to comment on that?
Yeah, there's actually a word that we use in this house. We never say I can't. We say I don't know how yet. Yet is a very magical word.
Hmm.
Instead of saying I can't, I don't know how to do it yet, or I do not have the information yet, or I have yet to find, such and such or so and so. Um, it is, when same thing when you say I can't find this other pair of shoe, I don't know where it is yet. You can change from can't to yet. That actually makes you find things faster, believe it or not. That
I will
makes you
say,
come up with
I
a
will say
solution faster.
I will say my challenge for today is, and it could be to find my keys. I'm a Virgo and I'm a terrible person because my vitamins for tomorrow are already done. My shoes are where I want them exactly. My keys, my wallet, everything that I need are compartmentalized. That's a Virgo thing.
You save yourself
I
time.
make plans. I make plans to make plans.
Yeah.
And so writing for me was a little easier because I compartmentalize, which means I can create a storyboard and I can create a plot summary. And it's not written in stone. You know, our lives are not written in stone. There are going to be, you say, I haven't figured it out yet. And I say, I have a challenge to do this. And it's the
Right.
same thing essentially. I'm
Yeah.
challenged to get up in the morning. I'm challenged to find my coffee. Whatever it is, I'm challenged to feed Oliver. So,
Mm,
but those things are how it should be. Not that I can't do that. And,
yeah.
never, I say, I know a lot of people, unfortunately, that met in my life that are very negative,
Yeah.
that send out negative vibrations. They want to hurt. They consciously want to hurt other people because it makes them feel good, which I don't understand.
Yeah. I
But
don't either. Yeah.
I don't get that. But there are people out there that will, oh, you look so bad today. Oh, what's wrong with you? Not, oh, how are you doing?
That's a
Oh,
reflection
your
of
eyes look
themselves.
bright today.
Yeah.
So I always say that use those words of power wisely. You have language is vibration, and the vibration can actually do harm. So be careful what you say and how you say. And I'm the first one to admit, I mean, sometimes I put my foot in my mouth, and
We
it's only
all,
a size, hmm?
we all do.
And
Yeah.
it's a size 9.5, and it's a wide, so it's kind of big fit there. But I had to learn to listen, and that was one of my challenges. I talk too much. I'm doing it right now. People, I had to learn how to stop and listen.
But you're conveying useful information. So
Yeah.
as pointed out, you're helping the universe through talking.
Well, I'm an old guy. We learn things.
I'm as old as you are, so I'm an old guy too.
No, you're not. You were born in 59. I was born in 58.
You know what? I don't think either one of you are actually old, in my opinion, because I can actually prove it. You want me to prove it? Do you want me to prove that you guys aren't old?
All I
I can
can
prove
tell
it.
you is that the 6-year-old that I had when I was a child, that 6-year-old is still in my soul. He's still there causing trouble.
But I can actually prove it. Hercules, how do you like your steak?
Rare.
How do you like your steak, Michael?
Medium rare, medium well done.
Okay, notice neither one of you said pureed. So until that day comes, none of you guys are old.
Ew, no.
That was brilliant. Thank you.
Does hamburger count? Huh?
I
Does
don't know.
hamburger count?
No, no, that's just grounded. That's not pureed.
Ew, no.
So until that day comes, you don't have to worry about it. You're not
I
old.
have a straw.
Now, I've started a bunch of initiatives. One of them is the torch bearers, and you're both torch bearers. And what the torch bearers is essentially is we're the people keeping traditions that inspired us alive. Be they spiritual traditions, be they metaphysical traditions, be they occult traditions, be they paranormal traditions. So it's an acknowledgement and the cherishing realization that we're doing what they did,
Mm.
carrying on the tradition, we're carrying the torch forward. And then we started having a hall of heroes, which so far we have Blavatsky, Eric von Daniken, Tim Beckley, and Brad Steiger. And we're going to be having other people like Edgar Case is joining next. And I think,
Can I nominate Hermes Trismegistus?
yes, of course.
I live by many of his precepts I live by.
So yes, Hermes, I guess, would be the deity of this endeavor.
Mm.
But yes, we can add Hermes to the Hall of Heroes. It might have been a person, a part of him may have been incarnated at various times. There are even Hercules, Hermes combination deities, uh, where Hercules serves a Hermean function. There were Hermes, where you get the word Hermes from the name, and there were Hermes dedicated to Hercules. Hercules was a god of commerce in Rome, where he started the Aeronaxima, and in other places, and so forth. So we need to acknowledge Hermes. And I also started the quest for optimal wellness. Now, as you know, I've shared it. I'm not optimally well in the present moment. I'm like you. I look at things in terms of challenges. So I have my challenges, and everybody has challenges. So my challenges are no more difficult or important than anybody else's, but these are the challenges that I have. So what
But you are the best possible you right now. You are the best possible Hercules right now. You are facing, you're as Herculean as possible because you're facing this challenge and you're not letting it beat you. And I applaud you for that.
well, thank you. So I'm sharing my journey with other people, and I'm inviting them to share their journeys with other people. And this new show that we're on today is to introduce the element of meditation and visualization and affirmations. So I'm going to ask you, would you like, you're always welcome to be guests. Or would you like to be regular guests on this show?
I certainly
I
would,
could, I
yes.
would love it.
Well,
Okay.
if she's going to do it, I'm going to do it. That's for
Okay.
sure.
You gotta stick together, right?
I wore this for you today, Sue.
Oh
This
my
is
gosh, I
my
love
winged
it.
falcon. This is freedom.
Yeah,
It's Ra. It's the Egyptian version of a phoenix. It's
yeah.
Ra rising above adversity, of problems, of things, shining on because he's the sun. So it's look, there's always, I mean, I'm going to be Annie. The sun will always come out tomorrow. Well,
Yeah.
for the next 25 million billion years anyway. I'm
That
not going to
sounds like a
worry about it.
promising
I got
future.
news for
Yeah,
you. Michael's not going to be Michael in 25 billion years.
yeah.
Or he might, or part of him might.
Well, I mean, I believe my soul will be around, but I don't think I will.
I like you, Michael. I sure wish you hang out. I've known you in several other incarnations as well, I'm sure.
Oh, listen, I think from the cartoon, I must have been Daedalus. Hi, Herc.
That was the centaur. Tuna,
Yeah, he was a centaur.
Newton and Tooth. Those were the centaur and the satyr.
I
That
mean, I've
was
got my Saturn is in Sagittarius and he's a centaur.
there you go.
Wow, that's gorgeous.
What was it?
That's Sue.
Hi.
She was
Hi.
showing
Technical
her past when she
difficulty.
was young and gorgeous and beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
I've been invaded.
Sorry,
That,
technical glitch.
now,
Cat power.
since this is a
It's
Oh,
journey,
Oliver, my
cat
favorite.
power.
since this is a journey we're all taking together, and you guys have had a chance to visit the Quest for Optimal Wellness group, what would you like to add to this journey that will make it more personal for you,
Well, who are you talking to, me or Sue?
both of you?
Oh, well, you know that I do my Egyptian version of Tai Chi.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if I could do that showing people, but if you look at behind me, there are all these different positions that the Egyptians have, and they're always seated sideways, they're always moving. So I do movements for exercise besides walking 2.5 miles every day. I absolutely do that every day. That's
That
my
is
cardio. It's a very important thing. But then I also do the movements. I'll move my hands in such a way, or work like the Egyptians did. So I kind of um, meditate like an Egyptian.
I like that.
I not walk like an Egyptian, meditate like an Egyptian. I work that way. I try to take those movements because if you're moving, in like Tai Chi, you're moving those ways, you're moving your muscle groups. And that's what I would bring to it.
Okay, and that's something that once you learn to use your new machine, you might be able to do.
I mean, I'm sitting down. You can do these things sitting down.
Yeah.
And that's what's important. A lot of people, because, like I'm old. So a lot of people don't don't move their bodies that much. And we've got a lot of people in the world. I'm a writer, you're a writer, she's a writer. We sit down a lot and we don't exercise our legs. We don't move our arms or our heads enough so that we're just sitting there. And then, I got this thing here. They say it's cloidal or something, whatever that's called. I just think it's because I'm not active enough. And because, at being a little older, I've slowed down and I'm trying to say the hell with that. I've got to change it. And I know Sue's going to say something in a minute and she's right. So that's what I would do.
Sue, or do you have something to say and he's going to declare that you're right?
Well, no, I mean, I walk around and I exercise as much as I can. I just recovered from an injury. Apparently, sometimes me and gravity have disagreements, and sometimes gravity has won. So within the beginning of this year, I actually I do sit on the floor all the time. It's an Asian thing. I've done it all my life, and I got up from the floor without ever a second thought. And one day I tried to get up from the floor, and somehow, I don't know if I lifted my leg high enough or something, but I snapped both of my toes. I actually was born with two pinky
Oh,
toes
ouch.
on my right foot, and it's absolutely and I was bedridden all this time. So all the times you've seen me on the show, I would just hobble. I'm only like 5 steps away from the bedroom. This is a small house, so it doesn't take much for me to get to this desk here. But I would come on the show anyway. I don't let these things beat me. I find it absolutely interesting that if you hurt the upper half of your body, you can still function day to day. But if you mess up the lower half of your body, it's difficult even just to do the simplest stuff. It's absolutely impressive how we work. But yeah, and so now I'm getting back to exercising again now that I finally can walk again. It's just this month was actually one of the first month I can walk freely now without any pain. So it's taken a long time. Otherwise I was pretty much bed rested. Um, and I couldn't get up. Just even
God
simply trying to
bless
get to
you.
the restroom was so painful. We had to use the office chair like a wheelchair just to get me to and from the restroom. That's how bad it was. But I don't let things beat me. I just don't, because this pain is just another thing that you can actually overcome, and you can use actually your chakras to help minimize the pain. Believe it or not, you don't always have to use outside drugs. There's meditation techniques to actually get rid of pain. That's one of the things that I teach, and I think that hurting myself accidentally, I still hate gravity sometimes, but I think it's a lesson. It's a lesson. Everything that we have in our life is actually a lesson to how to deal with it so that we can teach the next person on how to handle it. I mean, that's how a lot of us learn. And that's why I said there's no one way to do something. You know, some people handle pain through meditation, other people handle pain through certain medications or whatever, herbal or big pharma, some people use. I mean, everybody has their way of doing it. And they're all just lessons. Any kind of pain, whether it's physical pain, life pains, growing pains, any of it, it's all there for us to learn from it. So,
There's a meditation that I do, and it's very simple. I'm a I'm a makeup artist. I was a sculptor, a painter. I'm a very visual person, as people who know me know. Um, but when I was in desperate pain, I had a car accident to 2019, same year as the lovely COVID stuff. I was just as COVID was coming out, I was crossing the street. I was already very sick with a thing called pemphigus vulgaris. I was supposed to die and I didn't. Well, not that I know of anyway. Um, um,
That's a good point. I wonder sometimes what dimension we happen to be in.
I mean, somewhere along the line, I could be laying in a box somewhere that I don't know about. But what I would do is I would imagine in my mind one of those great big handles on a lever. And in my mind, the pain would be on the lever, and I'd bring the pain down and shut the lever off, shut the pain off. And that image to me, that switch, turning the switch off, like a light switch, but I got a little more dramatic because I'm a little more dramatic. So I wanted it pulled down. And as I did, I counted 1, 2, 3, and the pain was gone because I shut that part of my brain off. I said, no, I'm not going to be in pain right now. At this moment in time, the pain is gone. And it would be.
yeah,
It takes a lot of concentration and a lot of, in my mind, visualization and believing that you can do that. The moment you say no, like Sue always says, you can't. But if you say, okay, and I was in so much pain, I'll put this to you. I was always knock-kneed as a child. My legs moved in this way. The car accident twisted my legs completely around. So if you've seen me stand, I'm kind of bow-legged. I was never that in my home because the the car hit me so hard, it actually knocked my legs completely around.
Wow.
ow,
Yeah.
ouch.
And that was in Newark on Lafayette Street. And for a long time, I couldn't walk on that street. but in order to cancel out that pain, I do that exercise. And if you try it yourself, Hercules. If you're feeling pain, try imagining that lever to come down. Really, really think about it, like a light switch, or when they do, if you've ever seen how they change the track on a train, they pull the switch and it goes that way.
I know how to knock out pain. I used to have an exercise where I up the volume on the pain.
Yeah, that's the one I use.
Whatever pain I'm feeling, it's
Yeah.
like, all right, I'll make it worse. I'll make it worse. I'll make it worse. Do
Yep.
your worst. And I just kept, I can
Yeah, you
imagine like
breathe
a
in.
dial sometimes. So I just
Yeah.
pick it up. And then
Yeah.
it's fine with the
It's the
pain
one I use.
away. I'm hesitant to use that at all times though, because that shuts off signals from your body. So your body might be telling you something that you need to know or listen to. And if you shut it off, it's like shutting off the sound on your radio. You're not going to hear what the message is. So I do that, and it works like a charm, but I don't do it all the time. I do
Yeah,
it-
I use the same type. I would actually dial it up, but then when I would breathe in light, and then in my nose, or breathe in something soothing in my nose, and then I would breathe out of my mouth the pain, and I would just keep doing that, and the pain would actually leave the body. That's how I got through, the times that I've been in pain. Not just the toes. I've been in a situation where we had to go for digging in yard, I guess, and I didn't see the hole into my front yard,
Oh,
and I
right.
landed into that, and it snapped my knees backwards. So it
Mhm.
looks like the kind of a stork. So yeah, I was out of commission for a long time for that one too. So I had to wear those leg cast. So yeah, me. Uh, I've gone through a lot, but they're all lessons. So I'm grateful for
I
every single one of
sometimes
those
think I was
lessons.
born under the sign of the klutz.
And we're going to be sharing those lessons here. Now, again, to
Yeah,
those listening, we're not doctors or medical
yeah,
professionals. We're focused on healing. We're people who are sharing in life's adventure, and just like gym buddies in the gym, sharing what worked, what didn't work, what you found effective and not effective, knowing that what worked for you today might not work for you tomorrow, and what worked for somebody else might not work for you. But we're sharing
yeah,
this information because we care about people, and these are the things that we learn to navigate through our life's adventures. Now we're sharing collectively what we do. We're finding commonalities, and we're being exposed to new ideas that we can try. But these are offered with love, and hopefully you'll have something to share with us. Just contact us on Facebook. We need
yeah.
something to share. Michael Del Rusi, who Setna knows, he'll be joining us on one of these. He worked.
Michael is wonderful. Michael is a great teacher. Great. Sue, I don't know if you've worked with him yet. He's a great teacher. He's a very patient, loving man.
Mm,
And he works with white light. He has a ministry
Mhm.
for people, and he also researches vitamins like Setna does. So he's been suggesting to me things that I can uh, try for my various conditions that I'm currently wrestling with. And again, I don't know too much about vitamins. I've taken vitamins throughout my whole life, mostly weightlifting vitamins, but I'm trying these and having good results with some of them. Now, this is, we're approaching the end of our first episode, our first chapter. We still have 10 more minutes left. Um, I'd like for you to share with our audience the extensive places where they can reach you. Because all of you are out there, both of you are out there, and a lot of our other guests are going to be out there. You're freely sharing yourself and your experience and your insights and your perceptions and your collective wisdom. How can people find them and get to know you better and enter the world that you're presenting us? We'll start with that.
Ah, poor Setna Kamwa said. You can reach me on Setna, Setna, underscore KHAMUAST, West, which is how other people pronounce it, on TikTok. You can, and it's a new one for me. I'm not a big TikTok fan, but I'm there because it's important. You can get me on Michael K. Waterman on Facebook. You can reach me at Michael K on today'switch.net because I write for Today's Witch magazine. You can also reach me at Phone a Wizard because I'm the wizard of Phone a Wizard on Facebook. You can reach me through Hercules, of course. If you want to reach me directly and you want to take classes or you have a question, the Phone a Wizard phone number is 516 650-3691. If you're an email person, write me at mkwaterman@iCloud, not clown, guys, iCloud.com.
And Setna is also on podcasts here on our station as well as other stations. And he's slowly taking over the internet. So thank you very much.
I am everywhere, I'm not going to lie.
Sue, how about you?
You can actually find me on Facebook under C. McClure. You can message me on Messenger. Just let me know where you saw me. That would be great. You know how you found out where you found me, where you've seen me. And you can also see me on Instagram, and I'm also on Twitter. You can message me on both of those platforms as well. I'm also around for LinkedIn. I'm there, and you can email me. And that's Sue Lightworker. That's SOOLIGHTWORKER @gmail.com. You can email me any of those places if you want to contact me for questions or dilemmas. You can talk to me, and you can even make an appointment if you like. And you can, if you just even want to just contact me just so you can talk, whatever, is bothering you, and help get it off your chest. I am more than happy to talk to you. And I'm one of the few that's actually a night owl, so I accept people contacting me even at late night, because I've noticed that a lot of problems that people have, like anxiety and things, and they have to get to sleep because they have to work the next day, but they got these anxieties. You can contact me in the late hours. I'm up until the wee hours of the morning. So I'm like I don't go to bed until 4 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so I
Oh
actually
dear.
do the
No,
I
no, no,
actually
no,
take
no.
the night cases because everyone else takes the day cases. So if everybody's up that it's just a crazy hour of the night and you need somebody to talk to, or you have something you need to solve or whatever, you can contact me. I'm available.
That is incredibly awesome. I will share a story I feel that I should share. Once I had a near-death experience,
Well,
and I got one of these life reviews, and it wasn't sequential, it was thematic. It was kind of like different threads from my life's tapestry were showing how they interwove with one another and got from one place to another and so forth. And after I saw this review process, which was beyond time, so I don't know how long it actually took, the response or the verbalization that was given to me by the guides that were there were, "You were difficult." So I acknowledge, yes, I am difficult. But then I asked questions about the review process. And I was told that what I experienced there is a sample of what I would experience in my other deaths. So I said, I'd like to do that every day. I don't want to wait till the end of my incarnation to get this self wisdom. So they said, okay. So every night I have this like judgment area, and it's not judgment, it's just looking at my life and seeing different plot threads and how they agree with one another, and different scenarios from the past, from the present, and possible futures. Some things that are fixed, some things that aren't fixed, and I really treasure that. So I want to thank the entities that govern such things. Also, want to thank the Nereus Academy of Science and congratulate them for their new documentary, the movie Welcome Space Brothers, which is being shown all over the place. It's being shown and sponsored by Fordham University here in New York in mid-September. So again, I congratulate them. It was a very big accomplishment. And also I'd like to say a public thank you to the Edgar Casey people. The Edgar Casey folks of New York have a show on my channel. They've had it for a few years. Ever since I got sick, they've been extremely wonderful, above and beyond. It really touched me. So I want to say thank you to them as well for all the offers of prayer and assistance and so. So I want to thank both of you. You're both awesome. You're good friends and you're great companions. And onward to a new adventure. I appreciate you. I wish you success in all of your endeavors, and I look forward to our next conversation.
thank you. Thank you so much.
I second and third the motion.
Yeah.
I
You are
think you
absolutely
two,
amazing,
you're
Hercules.
two of the most wonderful people I've ever met in my life.
And you're amazing
Um,
as well, Michael.
you are a powerhouse, and Hercules, you're Hercules. You're
Thank you.
you're the embodiment of the hero I had when I was a child. So God bless you.
God bless you too. God bless you all. God bless the world, and to be continued as always.